My friends, life whispers to us a truth so simple, yet so easily forgotten. People come and people go. They appear in our lives like passing seasons. Some bring warmth, some bring storms, but none are permanent. And yet, how often do we tie our worth, our peace, our joy to the fleeting presence of others? The mistake lies not in loving others, but in forgetting who you are at the center of it all. For you are the constant, you are the awareness in which all relationships, all faces, all voices rise and fall. If you forget yourself, you become lost in the comings and goings of the world. But when you return to yourself, when you focus on you, you discover that you were never abandoned, never lacking, never broken. Consider this. Others cannot give you what you refuse to claim within: love, respect, peace, abundance. These must be born in your inner world first. People only mirror back the state you carry. When your state is one of wholeness, you do not chase, you do not cling, you do not beg for permanence. You radiate, you attract, you allow. Yes, people will leave, let them. Their departure is not your end, but a signpost leading you back to yourself. And when new people arrive, welcome them, but remember, they too are temporary guests in the infinite house of your being. The truth is this: your life is not measured by who stays or who leaves. It is measured by the depth of your awareness of yourself. The world changes, people change, but the self you return to in silence, in imagination, in faith, that self remains. So focus on you. Stand rooted in your own inner richness. Be the source, not the seeker. And you will find that whether people come or go, your peace remains unshaken, your joy remains untouched, your power remains whole. Everything you have ever longed for in another, love, validation, peace, recognition, or security, has never truly belonged to them. It has always been a reflection of what you already hold, or what you have forgotten that you hold within yourself. When you run after people, hoping they will complete you, soothe you, or affirm your worth, you are handing over the keys of your own inner kingdom. But the truth is, the source is within. Everything begins in you, not outside of you. You may look at someone and think, if only they loved me, then I would feel whole. But pause for a moment. Why do you crave their love? Because of the feeling you believe it will give you. You want the warmth, the sense of belonging, the joy of being seen. Yet those feelings are not manufactured by another person. They are awakened in you. No one has ever planted joy inside you. It arises from your own state of being. Others may serve as triggers, as mirrors, but the substance of the feeling lives in you. When you truly grasp this, you stop chasing shadows. You stop believing that the presence or absence of a person dictates the richness of your life. Instead, you turn inward. You cultivate the garden of your own thoughts and emotions, knowing that what blooms there will inevitably shape what the world reflects back to you. If you carry the sense of being loved, life will echo that to you. If you carry the sense of being abundant, opportunities will align. If you dwell in peace, even the chaos around you will seem powerless to shake you. The world outside bends to the inner state you nurture. People enter your life, drawn by the vibration of what you consistently imagine yourself to be. If you radiate wholeness, you attract those who mirror wholeness. If you radiate lack, You attract those who confirm lack. This is why the focus must never be on them, on whether they stay or go, love or leave, approve or reject. The true work is always internal. It takes courage to turn inward because it is easier to believe someone else is responsible for your happiness. But that illusion makes you a slave to circumstances. Freedom begins when you recognize that you are the source of everything you desire. When you wake each morning and choose to feel what you seek, whether it is love, gratitude, or confidence, you begin to notice life reshaping itself around you. Suddenly, the absence of a certain person does not shake you, for you no longer lean on them to feel alive. You draw life from within, and in doing so, you stand unshaken in a world of constant change. So remember, the source is not out there. It is not in the approval of the world, nor in the presence of another. It is in the quiet, powerful place within you. Everything you have ever desired begins there, and from there it flows outward to create the life you see. Every person you meet, every word they speak to you, every action they take toward you is nothing more than a reflection of your own inner state. They are mirrors, not masters. They cannot control your destiny, your feelings, or your future unless you hand them the authority to do so. Too often we give away our power by believing that the opinions of others determine who we are. If someone praises us, we feel high. If someone criticizes us, we feel broken. But this is the illusion. The truth is, their response to you is shaped by the state you carry within yourself. Imagine walking into a room with absolute confidence, knowing deeply that you are valuable, worthy, and whole. The way people respond to you will mirror that state. They will sense it even without a word. Now imagine walking into the same room full of doubt, insecurity, and fear of rejection. The responses you encounter will often echo that vibration back to you. It is not that others decide your value, it is that they are reflecting the consciousness you have assumed. This is why you must never see people as masters over your fate. They are not the ones writing your story, you are. They cannot withhold from you what is already alive within you. If you believe yourself unworthy, you will meet others who seem to confirm that belief. If you live in the awareness of your worth, you will attract people who mirror back respect and love. The power has never rested in their hands. So it has always rested in your own inner state. Consider how often people are misinterpreted. Two individuals can meet the same person, yet walk away with opposite impressions. One finds them kind and supportive, the other finds them cold and distant. Who is correct? Both, for each is simply encountering a mirror of their own assumptions. Life reflects you, not as you wish it to be in words, but as you truly believe and feel it to be in the depths of your being. When you grasp this, you stop chasing after approval, validation, and recognition. You stop fearing rejection, for how can a mirror control you? A mirror only reveals what you present to it. If you dislike what you see in another's response, you do not shatter the mirror. You change the image you are projecting. You shift your inner state, and the reflection must shift to match it. Freedom comes when you no longer live at the mercy of others' actions. People will rise and fall in your life. Some will bless you, others may wound you, but even their wounds are mirrors of what you hold within. This does not mean you blame yourself. It means you awaken to your creative power. You understand that no one has mastery over your reality They are reflections, temporary images on the glass of consciousness, and when you alter the state within, the reflections without must transform. Attachment is one of the greatest illusions we live under, and it is the very root of so much suffering. When you cling to who stays or mourn endlessly over who leaves, you blind yourself to the truth of your own power. You begin to believe that your happiness, your worth, your peace of mind are tied to another's presence or absence. But this is never the case. Your true power does not lie in the hands of others. It lies within your own consciousness. And the moment you realize this, you begin to set yourself free. Think of how often the heart aches not because of love itself, but because of fear. The fear of losing, the fear of being abandoned, the fear that life will never be the same if a certain person is no longer there. This fear binds you in chains of attachment. You begin to live in dependency, measuring your own worth against someone else's attention, affection, or consistency. The problem is not love. The problem is attachment. Love is pure, expansive, and freeing. Attachment is narrow, grasping, and suffocating. When you cling to people, you do not see them as they are. You see them as lifelines. You make them responsible for your joy, and in doing so, you hand over your authority. This is why attachment creates suffering. It convinces you that without them, you are incomplete. But the truth is, you were never incomplete. The very feeling you long to hold on to, the comfort, the joy, the sense of being alive, comes from within you. Others can awaken it, yes, but they are not the source of it. The source is always within. The moment you release attachment, you begin to breathe freely again. You stop fearing loss, because you know nothing essential can ever be lost. What departs was never meant to sustain you forever, and what arrives will always mirror the state you carry within. By letting go, you create space for life to flow. People will come, people will go, but your center remains unshaken. Clinging blinds you because it makes you desperate. In desperation, you forget that you are the creator of your experience. You believe that someone's presence is your salvation, when in truth your salvation is already inside you. The irony is this: the more you cling, the more you push away what you desire, the more you release, the more freely it flows to you. Detachment is not about coldness or indifference. It is about standing so firm in your own inner wholeness that you no longer collapse when others shift. Life is a dance of arrivals and departures. But you are not the dancer moving from place to place. You are the stage upon which the dance unfolds. When you identify with the stage, your steady, unshakable self, you stop grasping at the dancers, fearing who will stay and who will leave. You allow, you observe, you embrace, and you let go. This is freedom. So do not cling, do not chain your joy to fragile conditions. Release your attachments and watch as the suffering dissolves. What remains is your true power, your ability to stand whole, radiant and free, no matter who comes or who goes. Life is not happening to you by accident. The experiences you encounter, the people you meet, the circumstances that unfold, they are not random events. They are reflections of the state you carry within yourself. Your inner state is like a silent magnet, drawing to you situations, opportunities, and relationships that match its vibration. What you nurture inside, your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions, becomes the life you live. Think of a person who constantly dwells in lack. They wake each day with the belief that there is never enough time, money, love, or recognition. That inner state radiates into everything they touch. They walk into opportunities already expecting disappointment, and life seems to echo back their belief. Another person, however, lives in the state of abundance. They wake up with gratitude, trusting that life will provide, expecting good things. That state attracts generosity, growth, and open doors. Both individuals live in the same world, yet their realities differ entirely, because the world responds not to their words alone, but to their inner state. Your inner world is the seedbed of your outer experience. If you sow seeds of fear, insecurity, and doubt, you cannot expect a harvest of peace and joy. But if you consistently nurture faith, confidence, and love, you will witness life reshaping itself to reflect that. This is why it is not enough to try to change conditions outwardly without first shifting inwardly. You may attempt to manipulate circumstances, chase opportunities, or cling to people, but unless your inner state aligns with what you seek, it will slip through your fingers. The beauty of this truth is that it places the power back in your hands. You no longer need to beg life to change or wait endlessly for luck to arrive. You become the author of your story by tending to the state you live in. When you consciously choose to dwell in peace, life reflects peace. When you choose joy, even in small ways, joy begins to echo back in larger ways. The outer is always the servant of the inner. This does not mean life will never challenge you. Challenges will come. But when your state is firmly grounded, you do not crumble. You see trials as temporary shadows against the greater light you carry within. You meet them with resilience, and even difficulties bend to serve your growth. Ask yourself daily, what am I nurturing within? Am I feeding fear or faith? Am I dwelling in lack or abundance? Am I holding on to bitterness or am I allowing forgiveness to shape me? Every inner choice is a seed, and every seed must bear fruit. The law is unchanging, as within, so without. So, nurture the state you wish to see reflected in your life. Begin within, and the world without cannot help but rearrange itself. The experiences you long for are not waiting somewhere outside of you. They are waiting within you, waiting for you to claim them. For what you nurture inside will always become the life you live. Detachment is not coldness and it is not indifference. It is not about rejecting love, denying relationships, or living without desire. Detachment is freedom. It is the release of desperate grasping, the surrender of the need to control, and the quiet confidence that what belongs to you cannot be taken away. When you focus on yourself, your inner state, your vision, your peace, you no longer chase after what you think you lack. You stop running after people, opportunities, and outcomes with fear in your heart. Instead, you become magnetic. You attract because you live from the truth that all things flow from within. When you are attached, you cling. You think, if this person leaves, I will fall apart. If this opportunity passes, I may never see another. If this outcome doesn't happen, my life will have no meaning. That attachment chains you to fear and keeps you restless. Your entire being becomes centered around trying to hold, grasp, or manipulate what was never yours to control in the first place. You live as if life owes you stability from the outside, forgetting that stability must first be born within. But when you detach, everything changes. Detachment is not the absence of care, it is the presence of trust. It is the knowing that what aligns with your inner state will arrive at the appointed time. You no longer beg, chase, or plead because you understand that chasing only pushes things further away. Desperation signals lack, and life mirrors lack back to you. Detachment, however, signals fullness. It says, I already am complete, and I welcome what flows to me. That fullness draws people, opportunities, and experiences into your orbit without struggle, but becomes Think of a flame. If you run after it with frantic hands, you only scatter it. But if you stand still, it glows steadily, and its warmth reaches you naturally. So it is with the things of life. The more you chase, the more they slip away. The more you rest in the certainty of who you are, the more easily they come. Detachment allows you to rest in being rather than striving in fear. This does not mean passivity. It does not mean sitting idle and waiting for miracles without vision or effort. It means that every action you take comes from a place of calm confidence, not desperation. You move toward your desires, but you are not enslaved by them. You live in faith that what is yours will never miss you, and what misses you was never yours. That faith brings a peace that no amount of chasing can ever deliver. When you focus on self, on cultivating your inner state, on nurturing joy, love, and clarity, you become the source rather than the seeker. And when you live as the source, you cannot help but attract. Life flows to you, not because you have forced it, but because you have allowed it. Detachment is freedom. It is the end of restless pursuit and the beginning of effortless attraction. It is the shift from begging to being, from clinging to creating, from chasing to receiving. When you focus on you, the rest follows. Life is a continuous movement of arrivals and departures. People will come into your world bringing joy, lessons, challenges, and growth. And then in time, many of them will leave. Some go quietly, some abruptly, and some linger for years before the season ends. It is natural to feel the pull of their presence and the ache of their absence, but beneath all of this change, there is something that never shifts. The only constant is you. The foundation of your life is not who stays or who goes. It is the inner reality you carry wherever you are. When you forget this, you become unsettled. You ride the waves of every relationship, every change, every loss, believing that your stability lies in others. If someone loves you, you feel secure. If they turn away, you collapse. This dependence creates a fragile existence because it places your well-being in hands that cannot hold it forever. No person is permanent, and no external situation is guaranteed. To build your life on what is temporary is to invite constant disappointment. But when you turn inward and realize that you are the one unchanging element in your own story, everything shifts. You recognize that no matter who enters or exits, you remain. Your awareness, your imagination, your power to create meaning, these are yours to keep. They are the ground beneath your feet. People may mirror your state, circumstances may reflect your beliefs, but the source has always been within you. And as long as you stand in that awareness, you can weather any change. Think of a tree. Seasons transform its branches. Leaves arrive in spring, they flourish in summer, they fall in autumn, and in winter the tree stands bare. Yet through it all, the roots remain. The roots do not panic when leaves fall, nor do they cling to what must change. They know they are the constant, and from them life flows again. You are the same. The world outside may change, but the roots of your being remain untouched. This is why your inner reality is everything. If it is built on peace, you carry peace whether people praise you or reject you. If it is built on love, you radiate love whether you are surrounded or alone. If it is built on faith, you walk confidently even when circumstances seem uncertain. Your foundation steadies you when all else seems unsteady. People will shift in and out, not because life is cruel, but because it is fluid. Each person plays their part in your unfolding story, and then the scene changes. The mistake is believing the story ends when a character exits. The story continues, and you remain the central figure. When you accept that the only constant is you, you stop fearing change. You stop grasping at people, desperate to make them stay. You begin to cherish them while they are here, bless them when they go, and trust that your inner reality is strong enough to carry you through every transition. You are not at the mercy of shifting relationships. You are the foundation on which they appear and disappear. So build that foundation strong. Ground yourself in self-awareness, in inner peace, in the knowledge of your own power. Then no matter who comes, no matter who leaves, you remain whole, steady, and free. For the only constant in this changing world is, and will always be, you. Life is a passing stream of people, circumstances, and seasons. Faces will come, voices will fade, and chapters will close, yet through it all, one truth remains unshaken. You are the source, the mirror, the constant foundation of your life. When you stop clinging, when you stop chasing, when you release attachment and turn inward, you discover a freedom greater than anything the world can promise. For what you nurture within will always be reflected without. Remember this. Others may walk beside you, but none can walk for you. They may mirror your state, but they do not master your destiny. And while their presence may bless you, their absence cannot diminish you. The power has never been theirs. It has always been yours. Stand rooted in that truth, and no matter who comes or who goes, your life will continue to expand, flourish, and overflow with meaning. So focus on you. Be the source, not the seeker. For when you live from within, you will find that life itself bends to reflect your inner light. Thank you for listening. And thank you for choosing to walk deeper into the awareness of who you truly are. Beloved, the world is nothing more than a mirror of the self. Every success you desire, every dream you long to hold, lies first within you. To focus on yourself until you win is not selfishness. It is the highest form of responsibility. For until you master your own inner world, you remain at the mercy of appearances. The beginning of all victory starts in silence, within the secret chambers of the mind. What picture are you holding of yourself? What silent words echo in your thoughts? For as surely as the seed determines the tree, your inner conversation gives birth to the outer life you live. Do not be deceived by the evidence of the senses. Circumstances are not final. They are only echoes of old states you once inhabited. Look beyond them. See yourself as the one who has already triumphed. Walk, speak, and feel as if your dream is now your reality. To focus on you until you win means to turn away from doubt, fear, and delay. It means to anchor your attention on the inner victory, even when the world laughs or resists. Do not argue with shadows. Do not plead with appearances. Instead, claim the truth of your being, quietly, boldly, faithfully. Victory does not come by chance. It comes by assumption. When you dwell in the end, when you hold unwavering faith in the vision, the unseen forces of life rearrange themselves to honor your belief. Stay loyal to the state of the winner, and the world must eventually reflect it. So close your eyes tonight and enter the image of yourself already successful. Hear the words of congratulations. Feel the satisfaction of achievement. Rest in that state until it becomes more real than anything the senses can show you. This is the great secret. The world is yourself, pushed out. To focus on you until you win is to recognize that nothing outside has power over you. You are the dreamer, the creator, the source. And when you remain faithful to the inner vision, the victory cannot be denied. Focus on you until the win is inevitable. Imagination is the foundation upon which all things are built. Before a single invention, discovery, or success ever appeared in the physical world, it first existed as a thought, a vision, a silent picture in the mind of its creator. Nothing can exist outwardly unless it is first born inwardly. The unseen always precedes the seen. To recognize this truth is to awaken to the creative power within yourself, the power that shapes your destiny. Think of every advancement in history: the airplane, electricity, great works of art, towering cities, magnificent achievements of humanity. Each one was once invisible, a mere concept, an image held in imagination long before it could be touched or seen. If this is true for the world at large, it is even more true for the life you are living now, the relationships you hold, the career you walk in, the health of your body, even the atmosphere of your days. All of it is a reflection of the images and assumptions you have been carrying within. Most people believe life happens to them, that circumstances dictate their future. But the awakened soul knows it is imagination that dictates circumstances. The thoughts you nurture in silence, the inner conversations you rehearse when no one is watching, the secret pictures you hold about yourself, all of these are seeds, and the world outside is simply the soil in which they grow. If your imagination is filled with fear, doubt, and failure, the world must reflect that back to you in experiences. If instead you choose to dwell upon success, joy, and fulfillment, the world will rearrange itself to match. Imagination is not a pastime or a childish activity. It is the most serious and powerful tool you possess. Every time you close your eyes and see yourself as the person you long to be, you are building the foundation of that reality. The outer world cannot resist the inner blueprint. Life is compelled to reflect the pictures you hold with faith and persistence. But here lies the key. You must claim the inner vision as though it is already true. To imagine is not merely to fantasize about a distant future, but to assume the reality of it now, when you enter the state of fulfillment in imagination, feeling as though it is already done, you set in motion unseen currents that will, in time, carry you to that very outcome. The world is but a shadow. Imagination is the light that casts it. When you understand this, you will no longer beg the world to change. You will no longer wait for circumstances to prove your worth. Instead, you will turn inward and create the image of victory, abundance, and freedom. By persisting in that inner reality, you will discover that life has no choice but to reflect it. All creation begins in imagination. The foundation of your life tomorrow is being laid in the pictures you hold today. Guard them, shape them, and honor them, for in them lies the power to transform your world. The inner conversation is the quiet architect of your life. Long before words are spoken aloud or actions are taken, there is a stream of dialogue flowing within you. These whispered thoughts, repeated over and over in silence, shape the very course of your destiny. What you continually tell yourself becomes the truth you live, for the mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts and creates from the impressions you impress upon it. Every moment you are engaged in a silent conversation. Perhaps you are affirming your abilities, whispering encouragement to yourself and imagining success. Or perhaps without noticing, you are rehearsing fears, doubting your worth, and repeating the old story of defeat. Whether uplifting or destructive, these inner dialogues are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. In time, they grow into the experiences of your outer life. The words you carry within shape the atmosphere of your days, determine the opportunities that open before you, and even influence how others respond to you. Consider how powerful this truth is. A person who continually says to themselves, "I am unlucky, nothing ever works for me," is not merely describing life, they are commanding it. Life must echo those inner words, bringing more evidence to confirm what has been declared. On the other hand, one who says within, "Everything I touch prospers, life always favors me," is setting in motion a chain of unseen forces that align with that inner decree. Destiny bends according to the silent script you keep repeating. This is why it is not enough to speak positive words outwardly, while secretly carrying conversations of fear and doubt inwardly. The world responds not to the mask you wear, but to the truth you rehearse in the secret chambers of the mind. The inner voice is the true author, and the outer life is its published work. To change the story you are living, you must first change the story you are telling yourself when no one is listening. It may seem difficult at first, for the old conversations feel familiar and persistent, yet with awareness and persistence, you can begin to replace them. Each time you catch yourself repeating the words of limitation, pause and redirect. Choose instead to affirm the reality you desire. Whisper within, "I am capable, I am chosen, I am victorious, I am already living the life I long for." Speak it until it feels natural. In time, these new conversations take root. They alter the way you see yourself, the way you move through the world, and the way the world responds to you. Destiny is not an accident but a creation, and it is created through the ceaseless dialogue of your inner being. Guard your words, for they are never idle. Each thought you repeat is a seed, and every seed must bear fruit. Shape your inner conversation wisely, and you will shape a destiny of victory, abundance, and joy. The greatest mistake a person can make is to believe that what they see before their eyes is final. Appearances are deceptive. for they are nothing more than the outpicturing of past beliefs and thoughts. What you behold today is not the truth of what is possible, it is only the shadow of yesterday's imagination. To live by sight alone is to remain imprisoned by effects, while the true cause of change lies within. To detach from appearances is to recognize that circumstances have no power except the meaning you give them. When you look at life and see lack, failure, or limitation, you must remind yourself that these conditions are temporary. They are echoes of states you once entertained in mind. They are the fruit of seeds already sown, and like all fruit, they will wither in time. To dwell on them, to fear them, or to accept them as permanent is to bind yourself to an old reality. But when you refuse to be moved, when you instead turn your attention to the unseen reality of your desire fulfilled, you withdraw power from appearances and invest it in the vision of what is to come. Detaching does not mean ignoring life or pretending difficulties do not exist. It means refusing to give them authority over your state of being. You may acknowledge what is in front of you, but you no longer let it dictate how you feel, what you believe, or what you expect. You understand that life rearranges itself according to your inner state, not according to what is presently visible. The outer world is always behind the inner. It is slow, a reflection that lags behind the present moment of imagination. Think of a movie reel. By the time the image appears on the screen, the frame has already passed through the projector. You cannot change the picture by scratching at the screen. You must change the reel. In the same way, you cannot alter life by wrestling with appearances. You must go to the source, the inner projector of imagination, and choose a new frame. When you do, the outer world will, in time, catch up and reveal the change. This is why faith is required. Faith is not blind hope. It is the certainty that the invisible is more real than the visible. Faith is the refusal to be disturbed by appearances, knowing they are but shadows. Shadows do not define reality. They only point back to the object that casts them. Your inner state is that object, and appearances are its fleeting outline. The wise remain unmoved. They hold to their vision, even when all evidence seems to deny it. They walk in the joy of fulfillment before the fulfillment arrives, knowing that appearances must eventually give way. And when the old dissolves, the new, long nurtured within, emerges as the visible world. Detach, therefore, from what you see. Do not argue with shadows. Withdraw your belief from temporary conditions and invest it fully in the reality you choose to occupy within. For in time, the world will be compelled to mirror your inner state. Appearances will fade, but the truth of your imagination will endure. To assume the end boldly is to step into the state of fulfillment with unwavering confidence, to walk as if what you desire is already accomplished. It is not timid wishing, nor is it daydreaming about what might be possible someday. It is the deliberate act of embodying your goal now, in thought, in feeling, and in imagination. The outer world may not yet show signs of change, but within, you anchor yourself in the victory. By doing so, you call forth the unseen into the seen, the invisible into the visible. Living as though the victory is already yours requires courage, for it demands that you ignore the evidence of your senses and lean fully on the truth of your imagination. The world may tell you that you are not ready, that you lack the resources, or that circumstances are against you. But if you hold to these appearances, you remain bound to them. To assume boldly is to reject such limitations and to declare within yourself, "It is done." You see yourself already possessing, already achieving, already becoming that which you desire. You walk in it, think from it, and feel it as natural. This boldness is not arrogance, but faith in action. It is the faith that the unseen power within you is greater than the outer conditions around you. By assuming the end, you are not forcing the world to change. You are aligning with the truth that the world must reflect your inner state. When you persist in dwelling in the end, life is compelled to rearrange itself to match the reality you have already claimed inwardly. Consider how an actor steps onto the stage. They do not hope to be their character, they take on the role completely, moving, speaking, and feeling as if they are already that person. In the same way, to assume the end boldly is to step into the role of the one who has already won. You no longer ask, "Will I succeed?" Instead, you say, "I am successful." You do not question, "Will I ever be loved?" Instead, you declare, "I am loved and cherished." The state you inhabit within becomes the identity you project, and the world responds accordingly. As Coben said, you can have this may feel like pretense, but it is not. It is creation. The imagination is the womb of reality, and when you boldly assume the end, you are planting the seed of fulfillment in fertile soil. Though the fruit may not appear instantly, it is inevitable, for life cannot deny the persistent assumption of the heart. What you accept as true inwardly must harden into fact outwardly. The timid wait for signs before believing, but the bold create the signs by believing first. They refuse to live in doubt, for doubt only prolongs delay. They dwell instead in the feeling of accomplishment, celebrating inwardly before the world has reason to applaud. And in time the applause comes, for the outer world cannot resist the conviction of one who has already claimed the end. To assume the end boldly is the key to transformation. Walk now as the one you long to be. Speak from the victory, feel the fulfillment, and do so with such certainty that the world has no choice but to mirror your inner triumph. For when you live as though it is already yours, it soon will be. Persistence is the mark of true mastery. To persist is to remain steadfast in your inner vision regardless of what the outer world shows you. It is the discipline of loyalty to your imagination, the refusal to abandon your dream simply because circumstances appear to oppose it. The one who persists understands that outer conditions are slow to change, that they are the lingering shadows of old states of mind. To be swayed by them is to plant new seeds of doubt and prolong the fulfillment of your desire. But to persist is to stand firm, to continue seeing, feeling, and believing. In the end, you have already claimed within. The outer world often tests the strength of your faith. Just when you have imagined your victory, circumstances may seem to grow worse. Doors may close, people may doubt you, and evidence may rise that appears to mock your inner vision. This is the moment when persistence is required. Many abandon their dreams at the first sign of contradiction, not realizing that such contradictions are only the remnants of past beliefs dissolving. They mistake the shaking of the old foundation for a failure, when in truth it is only the breaking away that allows the new to take root. Persistence is not struggle, It is not frantic effort to force the outer world to change. It is quiet, calm determination, a steady inner focus on what you have already chosen to be true. It is the choice to return again and again to the vision, no matter how many times the senses try to distract you. Like a compass that always points north, persistence directs your attention back to the desired state until it becomes natural, familiar, and unquestioned. Think of a sculptor chiseling a block of stone. With each strike, the form becomes clearer. If the sculptor were to stop halfway, the image would remain incomplete. But through steady, repeated action, the masterpiece emerges. In the same way, each time you return to your inner vision, you are chiseling away at the false appearances of limitation. Through persistence, the true image within eventually reveals itself in the world without. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is rarely talent or opportunity. It is persistence. The persistent do not accept appearances as final. They remain loyal to the unseen. They nurture their vision as one protects a fragile seedling, knowing that with time it will grow strong enough to stand on its own. They resist the urge to dig up the seed to see if it is growing. They trust the process, for they know the harvest is guaranteed to those who persist. Mastery is not achieved in a moment, it is forged in persistence. To persist is to declare that your inner world holds greater authority than the outer. It is to honor the truth that imagination creates reality, and to live from that truth until the outer world bows to it. The one who persists cannot fail, for persistence transforms the invisible into the inevitable. Remain loyal to your vision, and the world will, in time, mirror it back to you in full. You are the cause, not the effect. This is the great truth that frees the individual from bondage to circumstances. The world, with all its shifting appearances, is not acting upon you independently. It is reflecting you. Every condition of your life, every relationship, every success or failure is the mirror of your inner state. To believe otherwise is to live as a victim of chance, tossed about by forces outside your control. But to awaken to the truth that you are the cause is to claim the power to reshape your destiny by reshaping yourself within. Most people live as if life is happening to them. They blame the economy, their upbringing, their environment, or other people for their situation. Yet all these are but effects, shadows cast by the inner man. To change them without changing yourself is like rearranging the reflection in a mirror without altering the face that casts it. The reflection cannot change first, the source must. Likewise, your outer world cannot improve until you first assume within yourself the state of the one who already lives, the life you desire. The world is a vast echo chamber. Whatever you whisper within yourself returns amplified as the circumstances of your life. If your inner state is one of lack, fear, or unworthiness, then experiences of lack, fear, and rejection must appear before you. But if your inner state is one of abundance, confidence, and worth, the world will inevitably mirror that as well. The law is unfailing. You reap what you sow, not in the soil of the earth, but in the soil of the mind. This understanding is not meant to condemn, but to empower. If you do not like what life shows you, you need not fight the shadows. You need only turn inward and assume a new state of being. The moment you shift within, the outer world begins to reorganize itself to reflect that shift. It may not appear instantly, for the old reflections may linger a while, but in time, the mirror must catch up to the new image. The cause has changed, and so the effect cannot remain the same. This truth demands responsibility. You can no longer say, I am this way because of them, or I cannot succeed because of that. Such excuses vanish when you know that the cause is always within you. At first, this may feel heavy, but soon it becomes liberating, for it means you are not bound by anything outside yourself. No person, no condition, no circumstance has final power over you. The power is within, and the world must obey its command. Therefore, take ownership of your inner state. Guard your thoughts, nurture your imagination, and align yourself with the vision of the life you desire. See yourself already victorious, already free, already living in abundance, and remain faithful to that image. As surely as the reflection follows the face, the world must follow your inner transformation. You are the cause, never the effect. And when you change within, the entire world must bow to your new state of being. When all is said and done, everything returns to one truth. The world you see is born from the world you hold within. Imagination lays the foundation, inner conversations shape destiny. Appearances are but shadows. Bold assumption creates the future, persistence secures the victory, and the realization that you are the cause sets you free. The power has always been yours. If you remain faithful to the vision within, no circumstance, no doubt, and no delay can stand against you. Focus on you until you win, and you will find that the win was never in question. It was always waiting within you to be revealed. Thank you for listening, and may you walk in the certainty of your inner power, carrying with you the unshakable knowing that your victory is inevitable. There are moments in life when everything feels unsettled. Doors close, familiar paths vanish, and the ground beneath you begins to tremble. Do not mistake this shaking for destruction. It is preparation. When God is about to give you something big, He first clears away the small. The old self cannot inherit the new blessing. A greater life requires a greater identity. Just as the seed must break before the tree emerges, you too will feel something breaking within you. Relationships may shift, desires may intensify, and old habits will no longer satisfy you. This is not loss, it is birth. You may feel pressure, as though life itself is squeezing you. Do not curse the pressure, for diamonds are made by nothing else. That tightening, that sense of being cornered, is simply the sign that you are being shaped into who you must be to hold the blessing that is on its way. And then come the signs, the whispers of alignment. Dreams so vivid they feel more real than waking life. Random encounters that speak directly to your heart. Repeated numbers, phrases, and patterns that call your attention. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven is hinting at what is already yours. There will be a moment, often quiet and without fanfare, when a sense of completion rises within you. You cannot explain it, but you feel it. It is done. Even before it shows up in your hands, it is sealed in your heart. That inner knowing is the first manifestation. The outer follows swiftly after. Yet just before it arrives comes the test, the temptation to doubt, the urge to give up, the illusion that nothing is happening. This is the final gate. If you hold firm, if you persist in the unseen reality, then nothing can stop its arrival. So remember, when the world seems uncertain, when pressure surrounds you, when strange signs light up your path, take courage. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. And the greater the blessing, the greater the shaking before it comes. Stand still, trust the process, and watch. For when God is about to give you something big, you will see this. When life begins to shake from within, many mistake it for something going wrong. They look at the confusion, the discomfort, the restless nights, and assume they have fallen off track. But the truth is the opposite. Inner shaking is not a sign of failure, it is a divine announcement that something greater is moving toward you. Just as the ground trembles before a seed bursts through the soil, your spirit trembles before a blessing breaks into your reality. The unrest you feel is not the end. It is the beginning of transformation. The human mind loves comfort, familiarity, and certainty, but growth never comes wrapped in what is familiar. To receive more, you must first be stretched beyond what you have known. That stretching can feel unsettling. It may appear as doubts, sudden changes in your relationships, or shifts in your desires. Things that once satisfied you no longer do. The conversations you once enjoyed now feel shallow. The places you used to belong no longer feel like home. This is the shaking. It is the loosening of the old identity, the peeling away of everything that cannot go with you into your new season. Think of a house under renovation. Before new walls can be painted, the old plaster must be stripped. Dust fills the air, the structure looks broken, and yet it is not destruction, it is preparation. In the same way, when God is about to give you something big, He allows the inner world to feel unsettled so that you can let go of what no longer serves you. The unrest is His way of making space for the new. Sometimes the shaking shows up as an inner resistance to routines you once followed blindly. You begin questioning your choices, your habits, even your relationships. This questioning is not weakness, it is awakening. It is the signal that you are no longer aligned with the smaller version of yourself. A greater vision is pulling you, and it will not allow you to remain in the comfort of the past. Even your emotions may fluctuate. One moment you feel inspired, the next you feel uncertain. Do not despise this rhythm. Just as a tide must pull back before it pushes forward with power, your spirit often retreats before it advances into its new blessing. That restlessness you feel is the stretching of your inner world to contain something far larger than what you have known. The inner shaking is holy. It is the invisible hand of God rearranging the furniture of your soul so that when the blessing arrives, you are ready to hold it. If you run from the shaking, you delay the blessing. But if you embrace it, if you sit quietly and trust the process, you will see that every unsettling thought and every restless feeling was simply a sign that expansion was near. What you are experiencing is not chaos, but the silent preparation for breakthrough. And when the dust settles, you will see the beauty that was always waiting to be revealed. The moment a greater life calls you forward, the version of yourself that lived in limitation cannot remain. The old self must die, not in sorrow or tragedy, but in a quiet surrender to transformation. To step into the new, you must release the patterns, the thoughts, and the identity that once kept you safe but now keeps you small. Every great change begins with a death, the death of who you were, so that the birth of who you truly are can take place. This death is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is subtle, almost unnoticeable. You wake up one morning and realize you no longer find joy in the things that once defined you. The desires you carried for years lose their weight. The roles you played no longer fit. It feels as though the very skin you live in has grown too tight. That discomfort is the whisper that your old self is dissolving, making way for the greater version within you. The old self thrives on repetition. It clings to familiar stories. This is who I am. This is how life works. This is what I deserve. But those stories were written by limitation, not by destiny. When God calls you into expansion, those narratives collapse. You begin to see that the life you accepted as unchangeable was only a reflection of what you once believed. As those beliefs crumble, so does the identity that was built upon them. The death of the old self is simply the falling away of illusions. This process can feel uncomfortable, even frightening. You may grieve what you're leaving behind, relationships, habits, environments that once gave you security. But remember, you are not losing anything real. You are shedding the costume that hid your true essence. The butterfly does not mourn the cocoon. It accepts that the shell was only temporary, necessary for a season, but not meant to contain the fullness of flight. At times, the old self resists. It whispers, "Stay where you are, do not change. It is too risky to grow." This is the voice of fear, the echo of a life built on survival rather than vision. Yet every great promise requires courage. To inherit the new identity, you must silence the voice of fear and choose trust. The crumbling of the old is not your destruction, it is your liberation. And then comes the breakthrough. As the old identity fades, a new one begins to emerge. You carry yourself differently, speak with more certainty, dream with more boldness. Life itself mirrors this shift back to you. New opportunities appear, new connections form. Doors once closed swing wide open. All of this is evidence that you have died to what was and awakened to what is. So do not fear the crumbling. Do not cling to what was never meant to last. The old self dies so that the true self can rise. This is the sacred exchange. Death to limitation, birth to freedom. And when you look back, you will see that nothing of value was lost. Only illusions burned away, leaving you free to walk fully into the life already prepared for you. Pressure is one of life's greatest teachers. When everything feels delayed, when doors seem locked, when you push and nothing moves, it is easy to believe you are forgotten or that your desire will never come to pass. But what you call resistance is not denial. It is preparation. The pressure you feel before the breakthrough is the invisible hand shaping you into someone who can not only receive the blessing, but also sustain it. Think of the seed beneath the soil. To the eye, it appears buried, suffocated in darkness, pressed under layers of earth. Yet within that hidden place, the seed is breaking open. Its outer shell is cracking so that the life within can emerge. Without the pressure of the soil, without the weight that surrounds it, the seed could never grow roots strong enough to reach the surface. The very thing that seems to hold it back is the force that makes its growth possible. So it is with you. The delays, the obstacles, the resistance you face are not walls, they are wounds. They are the conditions required for the birth of your greater self. When God is about to give you something big, He often allows pressure to build. This pressure may appear as financial struggles, relational challenges, or inner doubts. You may feel as if life is pressing in from every side. But instead of cursing the pressure, recognize it as evidence that something powerful is near. Pressure only exists when there is something within you trying to expand beyond its current form. If nothing greater were on its way, there would be no need for the stretching. Delay itself is an illusion. In truth, what seems delayed is simply aligning at the right time and in the right way. Imagine a great gift being wrapped, prepared, and delivered. From your perspective, it may feel late, but from the higher perspective, it is perfect timing. If it arrived too soon, you would not be ready to hold it. If it came too easily, you would not have the strength to keep it. The resistance is not against you. It is for you. It forges patience, deepens faith, and sharpens vision. Even in nature, the greatest treasures are formed under pressure. Diamonds are created only through immense heat and compression. Pearls are formed when an oyster endures irritation until it transforms it into beauty. In the same way, the heaviness you feel is crafting strength, wisdom, and resilience within you. Without the pressure, the breakthrough would be shallow. With it, the breakthrough becomes permanent. The key is not to fight the pressure, but to lean into it with trust. Know that every no you face is guiding you to the greater yes. Every delay is a pause for alignment. Every closed door is a redirection to a better one. When the breakthrough finally arrives, and it always does, you will see that the pressure was not punishment, it was the pathway. And you will stand stronger, clearer, and more alive because of it. There comes a time on the journey toward your greater blessing when life begins to whisper. These whispers are not random, they are signs, signals that you are aligning with the reality you have been calling into being. They arrive as synchronicities, vivid dreams, sudden insights, and subtle nudges that seem to point in the same direction. To the ordinary eye, they may look like coincidences, but to the awakened heart, they are confirmations that what you seek is already seeking you. Synchronicities often appear when you are closest to your breakthrough. You think of someone and they call. You imagine a place and suddenly opportunities to visit it open up. Numbers repeat themselves. Symbols follow you. Words or phrases echo across different conversations. It may feel uncanny, almost as if the world itself is speaking directly to you. That is because it is. The outer world is mirroring your inner state, showing you that your desire is not just a wish, but a reality already in motion. Dreams also carry powerful messages during this season. At night, when the conscious mind rests, the deeper self communicates in symbols and scenarios. You may dream of stepping into new houses, of flying, of being clothed in garments you have never worn before. These are not meaningless images, they are reflections of your inner transformation. They are glimpses of the life your soul is already inhabiting before your body has caught up. When you awaken from such dreams, do not dismiss them. Write them down, honor them, and recognize them as signposts that you are walking the right path. Then there are the sudden insights, the flashes of understanding that arrive without warning. One moment you are uncertain, and the next you know exactly what to do. A solution appears, an idea takes root, a new perspective opens. These insights are not accidents. They are the voice of the divine within you, guiding your steps with precision. What once seemed complicated becomes simple. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable. These insights are evidence that you are no longer struggling alone. You are aligned with a wisdom far greater than your own. The beauty of these signs is that they carry with them a sense of reassurance. They remind you that you are not wandering aimlessly, nor are you waiting in vain. Every synchronicity, every dream, every insight is a gentle tap on the shoulder saying, "Keep going. You are closer than you think." The signs do not create the blessing, they reveal it. They show you that the unseen has already taken form and is on its way into the visible. So when these signals appear, do not ignore them. Welcome them with gratitude, for they are proof that heaven and earth are working together on your behalf. Pay attention, trust the patterns, and let them encourage you to persist. For when the signs of alignment become too frequent to dismiss, know this: the blessing is no longer just coming, it is already here, unfolding before your eyes. There is a sacred moment on the journey of creation when striving ceases. It does not come with fireworks or a loud announcement. Rather, it arrives as a quiet knowing within the heart. This is the feeling of completion. Long before the blessing touches your hands, your spirit already celebrates it as finished. It is as if a gentle voice within whispers, "It is done." You no longer chase, you no longer beg, and you no longer worry. You rest in the awareness that what you asked for is already yours. This inner completion is not imagination playing tricks. It is the truth of how creation works. Everything begins in the unseen, in the invisible realm of thought and feeling. The outer world is simply the shadow of the inner. When your heart reaches that place of peace, where the desire feels fulfilled, the outer must eventually reflect it. The quiet knowing is not separate from the blessing. It is the first stage of its manifestation. Many misunderstand this stage because it feels so subtle. There is no urgency, no impatience. The restlessness that once kept you awake at night has vanished. Instead, there is calm. You may still go about your daily routine, but something within you has shifted. You walk with a new confidence, speak with quiet authority, and carry an energy of certainty. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the heart's recognition that the work is already complete. Think of an artist who has just finished painting. Before the world sees it, before it hangs on a wall, the artist already knows it is done. The satisfaction, the fulfillment has already settled in the heart. The unveiling is only a matter of time. In the same way, when you reach the inner feeling of completion, you are no longer waiting with anxiety. You are simply allowing the unveiling of what already exists. This inner state is powerful because it silences doubt. When the heart knows, the mind can no longer argue. Circumstances may still look unchanged, but you are unmoved. You no longer seek signs to prove it to you. Instead, you see signs because you already know it is true. Faith has matured into certainty, and certainty requires no effort. It simply is. Often, this feeling arrives after a season of pressure and surrender. You wrestle, you question, you stretch, and then suddenly, without force, you rest. It is like exhaling after holding your breath too long. Peace floods the soul, and you know you do not need to chase what is already yours. You begin to live as though the desire has been fulfilled, and in that living you draw it swiftly into form. So cherish this inner completion. It is the sweetest evidence that your manifestation is near. The world will soon catch up to what your heart already knows, and when it does, you will smile, not in surprise, but in recognition. For you understood long before it appeared. It was done the moment you felt it so. The moments just before the blessing often feel like the hardest to endure. Everything within you longs for evidence. yet the outer world remains stubbornly silent. Doubts rise, fears whisper, and life seems to test the very faith you have been holding on to. This is not coincidence, it is the test of faith. Before the greater blessing arrives, you will be tempted to give up, to walk away, to believe it was all in vain. But those who endure this final trial discover that it is nothing more than the last threshold before the door opens. Faith is not proven in times of ease. It is revealed in moments of silence, when nothing in the outer world seems to agree with what you know inwardly to be true. The delay is not punishment. It is the refining of your conviction. Just as gold is purified by fire, your faith is strengthened by resistance. If the desire appeared the moment you asked, there would be no depth of trust, no growth of character, no expansion of soul. The test of faith is the divine way of ensuring that you are not only ready to receive, but ready to sustain what is given. In this stage, circumstances often appear contrary. Opportunities may close, relationships may shift, and unexpected obstacles may arise. Everything seems to shout, "It will not happen." Yet this contradiction is the very sign that you are near. The old reality is making one last attempt to pull you back into doubt. If you surrender to the appearance, you return to the old self. But if you hold firm, if you refuse to give in to the illusion, you pass through the test and step into the fulfillment. This test is not meant to break you, but to reveal you. It shows you the strength already inside you, the unwavering conviction that does not bend with appearances. You learn to walk by inner vision rather than outer sight. And as you persist, the unseen begins to solidify into form. The blessing you once could only imagine now takes tangible shape before your eyes. Think of a runner approaching the finish line. The final stretch is often the most exhausting. Muscles ache, lungs burn, and everything cries out to stop. Yet the runner pushes through, knowing that the reward is not far. The same is true of you. The pressure you feel, the doubts that press in, are simply signs that you are at the threshold. If you can endure this last stretch, you will see the promise fulfilled. So when life tempts you to give up, when the silence feels unbearable, when the evidence seems against you, remember this truth. You are closest to the blessing when the test feels strongest. Stand firm. Refuse to waver. The door is not locked. It is waiting for your persistence to push it open. And once you step through, you will look back and realize that the test was not a barrier, it was the bridge that carried you into the life you were meant to live. Everything you have experienced, the inner shaking, the crumbling of the old self, the pressure before breakthrough, the signs of alignment, the quiet feeling of completion, and even the final test of faith are not random events. They are the sacred stages of transformation. They are the proof that God is preparing you for something greater than you have ever imagined. What looks like struggle is actually shaping, what feels like delay is divine timing, and what seems like the end is only the beginning of a new chapter. So when these moments arrive, do not despair. Embrace them. Recognize them as confirmation that your blessing is near. The greater the shaking, the greater the gift. The deeper the test, the brighter the reward. Stand firm, trust the unseen, and live as though it is already done. For in truth, it already is. Thank you for giving me your time and your heart. May these words remind you of the power within you. and the promise before you. Stay strong, stay faithful, and watch how your life transforms. Thank you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. The life you seek, the wealth you desire, the love you long for, it is already done. You are not waiting, you are not hoping. You are living in the feeling of fulfillment right now. The key to accelerating manifestation is not effort, but assumption. What do I mean? You do not struggle to become what you already are. If you truly believe you are wealthy, do you check your bank account in worry? If you truly believe you are loved, do you chase validation? The world is only a mirror. It reflects your internal state. You do not need time, you need conviction. Let me tell you something. You must stop waiting. Stop asking, when will it come? The moment you ask, you reveal that you do not yet believe it is yours. Instead, you must feel as if it is done. The secret is this. If you want to manifest faster, time cannot exist in your mind. You must live in the end. When you assume the wish fulfilled, you collapse time. You make the unseen seen. At night, before you sleep, sink into the state of your desire. Feel it as real. See yourself having it, being it, living it. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagination and reality. What you impress upon it must externalize. Silence is your power. The one who knows does not beg, does not chase, does not doubt. They simply assume and rest. Stop looking outside for proof. The proof comes after the assumption. The world cannot show you what you do not first claim within. Manifestation is not about waiting. It is about being. The moment you become, the world has no choice but to obey. Live in the knowing. Walk in the certainty, and watch as your desires unfold 10x faster. There is a secret, a power hidden in plain sight, yet so few truly grasp it. It is the power of assumption. The moment you assume something to be real, it takes root in the unseen and must express itself in the physical world. This is not wishful thinking, it is the very essence of creation. Desire alone does not manifest. Wishing, longing, hoping, these are states of lack. When you desire something, you are confirming its absence. You are telling the universe, I do not have this, and so it remains just out of reach. But assumption is different. Assumption is the bridge between imagination and reality. It is the key that unlocks the door to rapid manifestation. Right now, look at your life. Everything you see, everything you experience is simply a reflection of past assumptions. You did not chase these circumstances, you assumed them, whether consciously or unconsciously. And because your assumption felt real to you, your subconscious mind accepted it as truth. The subconscious does not argue, it does not ask if something is logical or possible. It only accepts and executes. So what happens when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled? You shift. You move from a state of longing to a state of having. You stop thinking, one day I will be wealthy, healthy, loved, and instead you say, I am already that. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think differently. Not because you are pretending, but because you know it is done. To assume correctly, you must learn the art of feeling. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. It is not enough to say, I am rich, I am successful, I am in love, if deep inside you feel poor, defeated, or lonely. The subconscious does not respond to empty words, it responds to emotion, belief, and certainty. If you can generate the feeling of already being what you desire, then the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself accordingly. Think about a memory. One so vivid that even now, if you recall it, you can feel the emotions as if it were happening again. Maybe it was a moment of joy, of sadness, of love. The experience is not physically present, but the feeling is real. Why? Because the mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. If this is true for the past, then it is also true for the future. You can select any reality, any experience, and bring it into the now by feeling it is real. Let's say you want financial abundance. Instead of longing for it, assume it. Close your eyes and feel the weight of wealth in your hands. Imagine looking at your bank account and seeing large sums of money. How would you walk if you knew money was never an issue? How would you breathe? How would you interact with others? Would you carry tension or would you move with ease? Or if you desire love, do not wait for someone to show up and prove it to you. Assume it now. Feel what it's like to be deeply cherished. Walk through your day as though love surrounds you. Speak to yourself as someone who is already in a fulfilling, beautiful relationship. The moment you do this, you shift states and the world must follow. But assumption is not a one-time act. It is a way of being. It is a perpetual knowing. You cannot assume once and then go back to doubting. You must persist no matter what the external world shows. If you plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check if it is growing, you will kill it before it has a chance to bloom. The same is true for manifestation. You must plant the assumption and trust. This is how you collapse time. This is how you manifest 10x faster. The moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop looking for evidence, the moment you simply assume and rest in that knowing, your world will shift in ways that seem miraculous. But it is not a miracle. It is simply the law. The concept of time as we know it is nothing more than an illusion, a construct designed to organize the flow of events in the physical realm. In reality, time is fluid, and the future is not a distant place waiting to unfold. It is simply a reflection of the state you hold in the present. The truth is, everything you desire, everything you seek already exists in the unseen realm. The key is to live in the end, to inhabit the state of having rather than the state of wanting. We are conditioned to view life through the lens of time, always looking ahead, waiting for the future to bring us what we desire, but this mindset only perpetuates the cycle of longing and lack. We are constantly told to work toward our goals, to plan for the future, to wait for the right moment. Yet in doing so, we disconnect ourselves from the reality that what we seek is already ours, just waiting for us to claim it. The unseen realm, the realm of the subconscious, does not operate in the linear fashion that we experience in the physical world. There, all things exist simultaneously. The idea of time as past, present, and future is irrelevant. The moment you accept that your desire already exists in the unseen, you begin to shift your consciousness. Instead of striving, instead of chasing or working hard to make something happen, you choose to live as if your desire is already fulfilled. To live in the end is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to walk through your life as if what you desire is already yours. It is not enough to simply think about what you want, it is about fully embodying the feeling of already having it. When you mentally and emotionally reside in the end result, you are no longer tied to the process or the struggle. You no longer wait for external events to align before you can feel fulfilled. Instead, you make the assumption that your desire has already manifested, and that assumption is what shifts your external world. Think about it. When you live in the state of having, you are no longer in conflict with what is or what could be. You stop wishing for things because you already know they are yours. This is a powerful realization. You no longer need to search for validation, for approval, or for the manifestation of your desires in physical form. They are already yours in the realm of consciousness. The world around you is simply waiting to catch up to your assumption. When you choose to live in the end, you stop identifying with lack. You stop telling the story of someday and start telling the story of now. The feeling of fulfillment, of success, of love, or of wealth, whatever your desire is, becomes your new reality. As you live in the end, your external reality must adjust to reflect the state of being you've assumed. Just as a plant responds to the soil and environment in which it is planted, your reality will begin to mirror the state of consciousness you inhabit. Living in the end means that your external world does not dictate your feelings or thoughts. You dictate the world through your inner assumption. The moment you stop waiting for something outside of you to change and instead start living from the place of already having it, everything begins to shift. This is where the power lies, in the knowing that the desired outcome is already yours, You no longer chase, you no longer strive, you no longer hope. You simply rest in the certainty that what you seek is already in your possession. In this state, time becomes irrelevant. The more you persist in this assumption, the more quickly your physical reality will conform. The external world is merely a reflection of your inner state. When you live in the end, your state of being dictates what is manifesting in your life. You do not need to worry about how or when it will happen. Living in the end is a practice. It is not just about a momentary thought or feeling, but about a sustained belief in the truth of your desires. The moment you internalize that time is an illusion and that the reality you seek already exists in the unseen realm, your life begins to change in ways that are far beyond what you may have imagined. The end is not a distant destination, it is the now. And when you live in the end, the world cannot help but mirror it. The conscious mind is a remarkable tool. It is logical, analytical, and always seeking answers. It wants to know the how, the process, the steps, the plan. It's a part of our nature to question, to doubt, and to try to figure things out. But the truth is, creation is not bound by logic. The universe operates in a way that goes far beyond the reasoning of the conscious mind. In fact, the moment you try to figure out the how, you are limiting the infinite possibilities that are available to you. When you align with the state of fulfillment, you are aligning with the law of creation itself. You are entering a realm where the how does not matter. The moment you begin to wonder how something will happen, you step into the realm of doubt. You disconnect yourself from the energy of creation and place limits on the very thing you are trying to manifest. The how is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to align with the end result. Creation is not linear, and it does not follow the rules of logic. Think about it. If the physical world operated entirely by logic, we would still be in the Stone Age, searching for fire. Yet time and time again, we witness the impossible become possible. Great breakthroughs, profound manifestations, and miraculous events have all happened because someone dared to trust that the outcome they desired was already guaranteed. The conscious mind wants to control the process, but creation doesn't need control, it needs alignment. The universe works in mysterious ways, and the more you trust in the process, the more your desires come to you effortlessly. The key is to focus not on how things will happen, but on how you feel in the present moment. When you embody the feeling of your desire as already fulfilled, you are tapping into the essence of creation. The how will unfold naturally as a result of your internal alignment. Your job is not to figure out every detail. Your job is to remain in the state of having, feel it, live it, breathe it. Imagine you already possess what you desire and allow the emotions of that to consume you. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction as if it's already part of your life. The moment you do this, you begin to unlock a flow of energy that transcends the limits of reason. Universe, operating in harmony with your inner state, will take care of the detail. Think of it this way. Imagine you have a destination in mind, but you don't know the exact route. If you get in the car and trust the navigation system, you don't need to understand every twist and turn along the way. You simply need to trust that the system knows the way and follow its guidance. The universe is your navigation system. It knows the path, it knows the timing, and it knows exactly how to bring your desires to fruition. The more you trust in the process, the more effortlessly the path becomes clear. When you focus on the how, you are essentially saying, I don't believe it will happen unless I understand every step. This doubt holds energy in opposition to your desire. The true magic happens when you drop the need to know how and simply trust that the outcome is already done. Trust that the bridge of events will unfold as needed, and each moment will bring you closer to your manifestation without effort or strain. This is where the power of faith comes in. Faith is not blind belief. It is the confidence that the universe will provide what you have aligned with. When you trust the now, When you stop seeking answers and rest in the certainty that your desires are already being fulfilled, you open yourself to a flow of opportunities, people, events, and circumstances that will guide you to the manifestation of your dream. Creation is not bound by the limitations of the conscious mind. You do not need to figure out the how, because the how is already built into the fabric of the universe. The moment you align with the end result and trust in the process, the universe will bring everything together. The only thing required from you is to drop the need for control, embrace the present moment, and trust that the fulfillment of your desires is already in motion. The past is a collection of memories, experiences, and stories that have shaped the person you are today. However, those memories only hold the power that you allow them to have. The truth is, the past no longer exists. It is only a series of moments in time that have already passed, yet so many people carry it with them as though it defines who they are and who they are becoming. When you keep revisiting the past, you are unknowingly giving it power over your present and future. The only true reality is the one you now claim, the one you choose to step into right now. In order to manifest the life you desire, you must detach from the old story, the narrative of who you were, the mistakes you made, the limitations you believed in. That story is only relevant if you continue to tell it. It is no longer a reflection of your current self unless you choose to keep it alive. Every time you revisit old memories, every time you replay old patterns of thought and behavior, you are reinforcing the old story. But the truth is, that story no longer serves you. It is a story you can leave behind, just like an outdated book that no longer resonates with you. The key to transformation is not in the desire for change, but in the willingness to release what no longer aligns with your desired state. If you are carrying around beliefs that contradict your ideal reality, you are actively preventing yourself from stepping into that reality. Limiting beliefs such as, I'm not worthy, I can't have what I want, or my past defines my future are remnants of the old story. They may have once been true for you, but they don't have to be true now. Your past experiences do not define your future unless you allow them to. When you detach from the old story, you free yourself from the constraints of what you were told you could or could not have. You stop identifying with the limitations of your past mistakes, regrets, and fears. The only power the past holds is the power you give it through your thoughts. Each time you think back to a past failure or trauma, you recreate it in your mind, reinforcing the belief that it defines you. But once you stop revisiting it, once you stop giving it energy, it loses its hold over you. It's important to recognize that every moment is a new opportunity for reinvention. You are not bound by who you were yesterday, last year, or even 10 years ago. The only reality is the one you now claim. What you are choosing to believe about yourself in this moment is what will shape your future. If you want to manifest a new life, a new identity, and a new reality, you must begin by changing the story you tell yourself. The story you are telling today is a story that will shape your tomorrow. To release limiting beliefs, you must first become aware of them. Identify the beliefs that contradict your desires and examine where they came from. Did they originate in your childhood? Were they learned from the people around you? Did you adopt them through experiences of failure or disappointment? Once you recognize these beliefs, it becomes easier to release them. Remember, they are only beliefs. They are not permanent unless you continue to choose them. Next, replace those old beliefs with empowering ones that align with your desired state. If you have always believed you are unworthy of love or success, begin telling yourself a new story. Believe that you are deserving, capable, and worthy of everything you desire. As you do, your perception of yourself will shift, and so will your external reality. The world reflects back the thoughts and beliefs you hold. When you claim your desired state, the universe aligns itself to bring you experiences that match your new story. Detaching from the old story is about making a conscious decision to stop identifying with the past. It is about recognizing that you have the power to create your reality by choosing what to believe now. As you release limiting beliefs and step into the new narrative, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. The only reality that matters is the one you choose to claim in this moment. Every day is a new opportunity to redefine who you are and what you are capable of. Don't let the past hold you back. You are free to write your own story from this point forward. The future is waiting for you, and it begins now. Your inner conversations are far more powerful than you may realize. Every thought you entertain, every word you speak to yourself is a command sent to the universe, signaling your desires and intentions. The internal dialogue that runs through your mind shapes your reality in ways you cannot see at first. But over time, these thoughts and conversations have a profound impact on the world you experience. You may not always be aware of it, but your thoughts are constantly communicating with the universe, and they are the blueprint for what manifests in your life. Think about it. Every thought you think is an affirmation, an instruction, a request. The universe responds to these inner commands, even the ones you don't consciously recognize. If your inner conversation is one of doubt, fear, or limitation, the universe will bring experiences to match those beliefs. If you believe that success is out of reach or that love is something you have to chase, those beliefs will show up as your reality. Conversely, when your inner dialogue is filled with thoughts of abundance, confidence, and fulfillment, the universe aligns itself to bring those desires into your life. The key is to monitor your inner dialogue and ensure that it aligns with your ideal state. You must become aware of the thoughts you entertain on a daily basis, as they are shaping your future. If you consistently think thoughts of lack, struggle, or unworthiness, you are unknowingly reinforcing those states in your reality. The universe is impartial. It doesn't judge your thoughts, it simply responds to them. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are correct. Your inner conversations directly influence how you experience the world, and the more conscious you become of this fact, the more you can take control of your manifestation. To change your external reality, you must first begin by changing your internal dialogue. Speak to yourself with the same love, kindness, and encouragement that you would offer to your best friend. If you want to manifest abundance, stop telling yourself stories of struggle and scarcity. Start affirming that you are deserving of wealth and prosperity. If you want love, stop doubting your worthiness or believing that love is something you have to search for. Begin speaking to yourself as if you are already loved, cherished, and complete. The power of speaking as if it is done cannot be overstated. Every time you say, I am successful, I am loved, or I am worthy of all the abundance the universe has to offer, you are impressing these truths upon your subconscious mind. This is not wishful thinking or mere positive affirmations. This is the language of creation. When you speak as if your desires are already a reality, your subconscious mind begins to accept this new truth as your reality. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It only knows what you repeatedly impress upon it. This inner conversation of already being and having is the key to rapidly manifesting your desires. Rather than waiting for something to happen in the external world before you can feel good, start feeling as if it has already happened. When you align your inner dialogue with the state of already having your desire, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. The external world is a reflection of your inner state, and the more you nurture your inner conversations with positivity, certainty, and confidence, the more the world around you will shift to mirror that reality. It's important to recognize that this is not about ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about aligning with the future you want, even if it hasn't fully manifested in your physical experience yet. Speak as if your desires are already here, and the universe will work to bring them to fruition. Your inner conversation creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond your thoughts and words. It sets the tone for your emotions, your actions, and your experiences. So, pay close attention to what you are telling yourself on a daily basis. Are you speaking words of encouragement, affirmation, and belief in your success? Or are you allowing doubts, fears, and negative self-talk to dominate your inner dialogue? Your thoughts create your reality. By consistently speaking to yourself as if your desires are already fulfilled, You align with the highest version of yourself and step into the life you've always dreamed of. The universe is always listening, and it is ready to bring your inner conversations into reality. The moments before sleep are some of the most sacred times in the day. As the world quiets around you and your body begins to relax, you enter a unique state where your conscious mind starts to recede and your subconscious becomes more active. This is a precious window of opportunity for manifesting your desires, for it is in these final moments of conscious mind in ways that will shape your reality. Sleep is not just a physical rest, it is a powerful tool for transformation when used intentionally. In the moments leading up to sleep, your mind is in a relaxed state, free from the distractions of the day. The chatter of the conscious mind slows down and your awareness begins to shift inward. This is the ideal time to plant the seeds of your desires. Your subconscious mind is most receptive during this time, as it is not hindered by the logical thinking of the conscious mind. It is open, suggestible, and able to absorb the thoughts and feelings you impress upon it. The thoughts you entertain before sleep have the potential to shape your reality in profound ways. This is why it is so important to drift into slumber feeling as if your desire is already yours. If you want to manifest abundance, love, success, or any other desire, take the time before sleep to embody the feeling of already having it. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions that would arise if your dream were already a reality. Feel the joy, the peace, the gratitude, and the excitement as if it is happening now. By doing this, you are sending a clear signal to your subconscious mind that this reality is already in place, and the universe will begin to work in alignment with that belief. This practice is powerful because the subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is imagined and what is real. It accepts whatever you impress upon it, and when you enter a state of relaxation and calmness before sleep, the subconscious is like a fertile garden, ready to receive the seeds you plant. By focusing on your desires in this way, you create a powerful connection between your current state and your future reality. The more you allow yourself to feel as if you already have what you desire, the more the universe will conspire to bring it into your life. In addition to the power of sleep, there is a unique power in silence. In the quiet moments before sleep, when there are no distractions, no external noise, and no thoughts pulling you in different directions, you can connect deeply with your true self and your desires. Silence is a powerful tool for manifestation, as it allows you to tune into your inner world and connect with the unseen forces that are always at work. When you embrace silence, you create the space for clarity, inspiration, and guidance to flow into your consciousness. Many people spend their days filled with noise, rushing from one task to the next without ever taking the time to listen to the whispers of the subconscious. But in the stillness before sleep, you can hear the subtle messages that guide you toward your desires. Silence allows you to attune to the energy of your desires and align with the vibration of what you want to create. It is in this space of quiet reflection that you can truly feel the presence of your desires. And that feeling is the key to manifestation. As you prepare for sleep, make it a habit to enter that space with a deep sense of trust and gratitude. Trust that the universe is already working to bring your desires to fruition. Trust that the unseen forces are aligning the perfect circumstances, people, and events to manifest your dreams. Gratitude amplifies the energy of your desires and signals to the universe that you are ready to receive. The more grateful you are, the faster you will see the results of your intentions. The power of sleep and silence lies in their ability to bypass the logical mind and speak directly to the subconscious, where all creation begins. The moments before sleep are a sacred opportunity to align with your highest desires and to plant the seeds of your dreams. As you drift into slumber, feel as if everything you have wished for is already yours. Let go of any doubts or fears and trust that the universe is already working to bring your desires into reality. The unseen forces are always at work, and when you allow them to operate in the quiet of the night, they can bring forth miracles beyond your imagination. In conclusion, the power to manifest your desires lies within you, and it begins with the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the feelings you embody. The moments before sleep are a sacred opportunity to align yourself with the reality you wish to create, allowing the subconscious to absorb the belief that your desires are already fulfilled. Trust in the process, let go of limiting beliefs, and release the past that no longer serves you. By living in the end, assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and maintaining an inner dialogue that aligns with your ideal state, you actively guide the universe to bring forth your desire. The universe is always listening, and when you harmonize your inner world with your dreams, the external world must shift to match it. Sleep and silence are powerful tools to access this deep transformative power. As you trust, release, and align with your desires, know that the unseen forces are already at work to bring them into your reality. Thank you for taking the time to connect with these powerful principles. Embrace them, live them, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Thank you.